Most of the intelligence community doesn't believe he exists. The ones that do call him the Winter Soldier. He's a ghost. You'll never find him.
Yeah, Tony Stark, better look out, boy.
That's right.
Captain America coming up on that ass. You know how it was when there wasn't an Avengers movie or anything. Tony Stark was the man.
Yeah, right. It was always like, well, you got to have Tony Stark there to lead things off. He's the comedy relief. He's the personality.
You ain't the shit no more. Captain America is up on that ass, man. This is Marvel's. I'm buying into the hype. In fact, I'm going to add to it. This is Marvel's best movie within the cinematic universe that they have for me right now.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay, because the way you were talking yesterday, I was like, what's going on?
See, you fell for the old Corey Coleman hustle, you know?
Yeah, but this could be the new Corey Coleman long con.
No, man. I ain't gonna do you like that. I'm gonna come out and say it. My man Cap is pulling it, man. He's got it.
I don't know if you bullshit me or not, but I will say that I do think this is their best movie.
Yeah, and there's a reason why. Several reasons why that this is the case here that we'll get into in a little bit. There was a shift in tone with this movie that actually has set it apart from their previous films.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think it's such a I feel like the first Captain America movie was kind of going this way. We're taking it seriously, but we're keeping it light. That way, everybody's kind of happy. Okay, they kind of move it to where, okay, Captain America's more like war, spy, Thor's more fantasy, Iron Man is kind of
drunk. Oh, he's trying to fuck something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. But this movie, they really moved it into like, okay, look, Captain America is all about like serious action and real spy, like on a Jason Bourne level.
Yeah, and I want Captain America to know I had his back in the beginning. Everybody talking that shit about the first Captain America. I don't know what people are looking for. And I don't even know anything about Captain America. You know that? And I saw the first Captain America and I thought, you know what? From what little I know, this is the perfect Captain America movie.
I felt that way too. I was like, I know a lot about Captain America. Like since I was a kid, he was my favorite superhero. Him and the Flash. I just somehow like guys would have wings on their heads. I don't know what it is. But with that first movie, I was like, damn, they really imagined this way better than I thought they could have, to put all the important elements in there and tell this story and make it work within the universe they've already set up.
The moment they took Chris Evans' big ass head and put on that little body,
Yeah.
I said, y'all got it. Y'all know what y'all doing with this. But now that Captain America, he's here. He got his movie out the way.
Yeah.
He's been an Avenger.
Yeah.
And being that he's been in the game for a little bit, I like the way that, okay, he said, look, y'all forgot I'm old school. You know, back at a simpler time. Yeah, we were assholes back then too, but you know, America did some bad things, but we all knew that America got your back at least a little bit. You know, we had the war, everybody went home. You might be working a factory job, but you got a 2-car garage. You got a nice middle-class home.
Hey, we beat Hitler and the Japs.
Yeah, exactly.
We did good work.
You do right, pay your taxes, don't do no crime, don't fuck up, and we'll leave you alone. We'll take care of you. Captain America's looking at this shit today. It's like, damn, y'all got cameras everywhere and
Right.
drones, and y'all just can't stop. You can't stop fucking with people. In this new world that he's still adjusting to, it's a struggle for him to, in a way, in other ways, and you know, all that pop culture. So he's like, okay, whatever, but I can't get with the government just looking at everybody's move. Of course, Nick Fury comes in and he's like, listen, if we want to keep global terrorism at bay, this is what we got to do. You know, Captain America, Steve Rogers come up and says, look, you need to tell me these things. And Nick Fury's like, I got to tell you a goddamn thing.
It's true.
You forget who you fucking talking to. You've been drinking that super serum a little bit too much. And you fucking with me. But actually, Captain America is kind of right, because there's a disruption within the S.H.I.E.L.D. organization. And when the shift of power occurs, Captain America finds himself a fugitive.
Yeah.
He finds himself a wanted man. And for some reason now, S.H.I.E.L.D. is out to assassinate him. You're probably thinking, all right, well, hey, man, that's Captain America. I can't do nothing to Captain America. Well, not until they bring out that Winter Soldier who come out and say, hey, guess what? I'm a bad motherfucker like you. You got a shield? I got a metal arm, bitch. Throw that shield at me again. I'll throw that shit back like a frisbee.
They were playing ultimate frisbee throughout this movie.
They were.
The two of them.
They were. And that's what I'm talking about, that shift of tone right there. Because we have all these political issues in here, this is a darker film. than most Marvel films.
It's not just a darker film, but it's a relevant film. Like, you don't expect these movies to be relevant. Like the Avengers, like you can't help but love the Avengers. It's that big cartoon you've always wanted to see.
Yes.
They keep it funny and light. There's plenty of action.
Yes.
And anytime it slows down for a second, you're laughing at something.
Yep.
But it's superheroes fighting alien monsters from outer space. I mean, how relevant can that be? Here, we're talking about like issues that are like in the news right now, like with the NSA, spying on everybody, wiretaps, all this lockdown of communication, just having governments that are secret in the first place.
Yes,
and people being told, there's shady shit going on that you don't have access to, and especially to be Captain America, who is like he's a major SHIELD agent. He's not just a superhero; he's a major SHIELD agent. And they're like, yeah, man, you are our best soldier. You kick ass like nobody. Nobody. You could bring Thor down here. I think you could probably take him. Yep. But there's some shit you don't get to know.
That's true. And it's amazing that they made a political thriller work in the middle of some silly comic book shit.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you almost forget that they fought aliens in the last movie.
Right. Yeah, it is almost like Captain America is able to operate in a universe on its own. I mean, that's the big thing about bringing the Avengers together, was that Iron Man was so grounded. How are you going to bring in Thor and the Hulk?
Yeah.
And somehow they managed to do that, where they have these separate universes that have a place where they can come together. But when they go off separately, Iron Man is grounded. Captain America even more so.
That's one of the things that I just say you kind of have to go with it, because you watch this and you forget that a man can turn into an 8-foot tall green monster and shit like that. But with this, being that it's a political thriller and it has a darker tone, it leads itself to a better script.
Yeah.
Because now they're able to have a lot of good dialogue. Praise Joss Whedon and everything. He's done great. The Avengers are one of my favorite movies, but goddamn, y'all quit cracking jokes?
I know.
Most of these movies are turned to the Marvel Comedy Hour.
Exactly.
That last Thor movie.
And that was what ruined the last Thor movie.
Yeah,
one of the many things that ruined the last.
Yeah,
Thor movie.
and it didn't ruin it for me, but I'm thinking, okay, y'all kind of taking this shit lightly now.
It's like, how can I take it seriously when y'all are doing Hope and Crosby on the road?
When y'all becoming goddamn, comedy at the Improv and everything, just in superhero costumes. Y'all need to pull back a little bit now, and that's what this movie did.
Now, what you may or may not know is that this is based on a run of Captain America comic books.
Yeah, who is the writer?
Ed Brubaker.
Yeah.
It's like Captain America has gone through some good runs, but this was considered the best run ever. This whole thing with the Winter Soldier and the secret behind that. And the thing is, those comics were great even before the big reveal of the Winter Soldier. Like, you just read them, like, man, this is the best this book has ever been. And then suddenly that big reveal was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
How did he pull that off? They not only did they do a faithful adaptation, but it was an adaptation where they worked it into what they've set up already. They lost some characters that would have caused you to have to go way back to shit that wouldn't matter, and made it a good movie, just tight.
At the beginning of the movie, they capture everything that we're talking about. That dark tone, the fast pace of the action, the political espionage. I mean, it's all there because they go to, they're trying to stop a pirate ship.
Yeah.
And they have hostages on board. And I like the way Captain America goes in. He's like, yeah, we got to save these hostages. We got to get these hostages, man. We got to get these hostages. It gets to a point where Scarlett Johansson gets in there as Black Widow.
Uh-huh.
And Captain America walking by, he's like, what you doing on the computer? What you check your email? And she's like, no, I'm doing my job. And she's like, he says our job is to get these hostages. And she's like, fuck those hostages.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm getting SHIELD's information off this shit before somebody else gets it. And Captain America's like, wait a minute. There are people's lives at stake. And then she's like, well, go fucking get them. Quit fucking with, let me do my shit. It's like, I can give a fuck less about those people. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
That's not what Nick Fury sent me to do. Oops.
Steve Rogers is just becoming really disillusioned very quick with the very organization that he works for.
And that's the thing. There's a lot of people who don't know anything about Captain America. And they see the red, white, and blue costume and they think, well, he's probably like Superman. He's a big Boy Scout and he's all pro-America and, does whatever the man says.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not really what this character is. I mean, first off, he's a soldier. So he ain't one of these goody two-shoe superheroes who's not going to kill anybody. He's killed Nazis. If he's got to take a life, it's going to happen. He'll try not to, but he'll do it. But also, he's not somebody who's just going to be a robot for the government. He has a brain. He's like, the fuck is going on here?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to be faithful and do my duty, but
you're making it hard.
Yeah.
But the action in this movie is amazing.
It is.
It
perfectly captures Captain America because that's the thing. Like like of the fighters of the two universes, you know, you got Batman for DC, Captain America for Marvel, and Captain America, frankly, kind of kicks more ass. I mean, he's all about like having like a room full of guys jump him and him just beating the shit out of all of them.
See, being I didn't know anything about Captain America, I grew up reading Marvel comics,
Sure,
but I only read a few select ones.
Yeah,
I never read Captain America because I thought he was running around with a big old plate, you know, big old dinner plate,
trash can,
yeah,
lid.
big old trash can lid. Because I thought it was just there for decoration. I never knew that Captain America used the shield.
Oh yeah,
He'll knock a motherfucker out quick with that shield.
well, that was always his thing. Was like he knew how to throw it, what to bounce it off of, how many guys he could hit, and where he needed to be to catch it when it ricocheted that last time.
That motherfucker's surgical with that goddamn shield, man. Captain America is just not Captain America. Captain America in the shield. They're two people.
Yeah.
They're a team.
Yeah.
Because while Captain America beating the fuck out somebody over here, that shield is over there knocking about 3 other people inside the head.
I got him, Cap. Thanks, Shield. Come back.
Yeah, I'm back. Where I need to go now? And I love it because you get not even like a super villain. I love how you get like just an average guy saying, I'm gonna catch this shit. You know, I was a disc golf champion back in college. I'm gonna oh shit. Dogs even be in the room trying to catch that shit. You're like, I got it. You know, the dog is trying to catch frisbees. I got it. Dog fucking jaw missing this shit. That shield is badass. I'm telling you, people. The action at the beginning of the movie, he goes on this ship, him and Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, and
it's him and a bunch of SHIELD agents.
And a bunch of SHIELD agents, too.
Working really well as a coordinated team.
But they're working well as a team. You have creative ways that Captain America is going and taking out these terrorists.
Yeah.
But when he has to really fight somebody one-on-one, like one dude just come out, you know what, fuck you, Captain America, let's get it on. And
now back in the day, that character was Batroc Zalipa, who was like one of his arch villains.
Oh, you talking about the head of the Algerian guy who's the head of the ship?
Yeah. He's like a French supervillain who wore purple, and he had this French karate called savate, where you just do like a jumping around. And he was always like Cap was like, God damn, fucking Batroc again. But there came a point when he would just beat his ass most of the time.
Like he did in this movie?
Yeah, like he did. Yeah.
I gotta tell you something, Back Scratch or whatever his name is, he gave Captain America a run for his money.
He did. He tried to bring it.
And that scene where they're fighting is so well choreographed, man. And there's so many other scenes throughout the film where the fight scenes.
Every fight is really well choreographed. Because I was just like, how can they keep this up? Because most of the time you see movies where, yeah, the fights they can be kind of lackluster, or you go with it because you like the character. And these are creative every time.
And I like that you can see the fights.
Oh, yes.
So you're thinking like, oh, okay, Captain America's they're gonna cheat it through the movie. It's just gonna be you're gonna see a close up of Chris Evans' face, and it's gonna be a CG man running around. Mm-hmm. No, they actually have fight coordinators who come in, and it's a ballet. This is the kind of shit that we see Asians do.
Yeah, right.
You know, white people can't do, black people, Americans can't do this shit. This is some raid type shit. Maybe not that violent.
No, not violent like the raid, but
and maybe not as extensive. But for America,
plenty of punching and kicking. It's wonderful how they use the CG just sweeten it, just to give you that just to remind you this ain't no regular man.
Oh yeah, no, it ain't at all. It's Captain America. You know, you got to do a flip 50 feet up in the air or something. You know, and land behind you, kick you in the back of the head or something. But Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury. Now I see why he's a badass. Normally Samuel Jackson's sitting around just like, hey, go over here and do this and go do that. But now,
that was one of the things. Was like at the time when they made the first movie, like Iron Man 1, he comes in as Nick Fury.
Yeah,
and like it started in the comic book The Ultimates, where they started drawing Nick Fury to look like Samuel Jackson. And my whole thing was like, dang, it's too bad they're making these movies now that he's older and can't really be that badass character. You know, he can walk around and have his swagger and his voice, but he can't really do that stuff. I stand corrected, because he shows you why he's a badass in this movie.
Comic book movie. I done seen a lot of movies this year where they are reality-based action films.
Sure.
And I got to go to Captain America to see a good fight scene.
I know.
I got to go to Captain America to see one of the best car chases that I've seen this year. This is fucking Captain America. They could make wings come out the side of that car and fly, but no, they keep it grounded, and they really give you one of the best action scenes that I've seen in a while as far as car chases go.
No, you're right.
During that scene with Nick Fury in that car, I like Nick Fury would cuss out anything in a moment. Samuel Jackson will cuss out.
Right.
Samuel Jackson will he'll cuss out a human being in a minute. I ain't no goddamn Lawrence Fishburne, but that card, he was yelling at that car, get me the fuck out of here. Like he had people coming up and surrounding him.
The car was nervous. Okay, accessing.
Yeah, the car was car sounded like a robot at first. I am now accessing, rear torrents or some whatever this shit, I am now accessing shield over car. And it got to a point, man, do something, get me out of here. And the car was like, all right, goddammit, I'm trying. Shit. Stop yelling at me, man. You're making me nervous. Start crying and shit.
Yeah, it's like Brett from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Will you let me do my job, please? I can't do it if you keep yelling at me, goddammit. You want to fucking drive? It's the people that we have who are returning. You have Samuel Jackson. He's not only is he a badass, and as Nick Fury, more of a badass than we've ever seen him. But the more he plays Nick Fury, the more he really he becomes a demanding figure.
Yeah,
he commands that part. Yeah, and Chris Evans, man, I'm looking at this, and there's only so much you can do with Captain America.
But he puts a lot of humanity in that character. He gives him dimension.
We often complain about these actors having to take their mask off and they have to show themselves because that's probably in the contract or whatever. But I was really looking forward to him taking that mask off. And even he looked impatient because there were scenes because him and Scarlett Johansson, they have a lot of great exchanges in the movie. And you could see the moment they had to go off and actually do some action, he just stand there for a moment like, do I have to do this?
I think you read too much into it.
I was really getting into this dialogue right here. I was really starting to do something.
Thing, man, when I know what you're saying, but when he's in the suit and has the helmet on and everything, he looks like he's totally into it.
Yeah. Well, I
don't be trying to empathize. You don't know.
I know. He told me he don't want to do this shit. Man. He wants. But
somebody don't want to do it. He don't act like that.
Shit, he'd take that check in a minute. He'll leap all the way to the bank. That mother do backflips and all kind of shit.
You keep reading about how he didn't get paid that much for the Avengers, but so I imagine when it comes to this one,
he's getting enough right now.
A huge check.
No, he's doing fine. And Scarlett Johansson, as I said, man, there's a lot of scenes with those two. They have some really great exchanges, some really great dialogue together.
Yeah.
Some really cool scenes together. And a lot of those scenes are some of the lighter moments of the movie, but they're not as jokey as they used to be.
It's enough joking around to make you feel comfortable. Like, hey, these are real people who have senses of humor.
Yeah.
But not they're not doing shtick.
Yeah.
And I tell you, man, who was one of the best characters they worked in was Anthony Mackie as the Falcon. It was so organic. The meeting and then the way he came in later, his whole origin, and him and Captain America worked really well together.
They're able to set these characters up as human beings because that's what he is essentially. He's not somebody he's not an alien. He's not the Hulk. I mean, he's not even Tony Stark. What Tony Stark is, he going around popping jokes, drinking and shit. I would say Steve Rogers is the most human character. So when him and Anthony Mackie meet, it does seem very sincere. It seems like just two guys hanging out. But you got newcomers in the movie, Anthony Mackie, and you have Robert Redford.
Oh, yeah.
Look old motherfucker.
No.
I
thought, you know what? Hey, spy games, throw him in this. All right, yeah, I get that.
Robert Redford comes in. He's in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's like, look, I'm a professional. I know I'm in some cartoon shit, but I'm here to act.
Maybe they just told him, hey, it's just a spy movie.
Yeah. No, well, maybe so, because, there's hardly any scenes where most of the movie, he's just walking around a room.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did him and Chris Evans even meet at any point in that movie? I think there was one scene.
If that much.
Yeah.
And most of it, he's just in one room.
Yeah.
And he commands that room, don't get me wrong. Yeah, Andrew Pearce is his name. He's he is actually the superior over Nick Fury.
Right.
And, yeah, it's good to see Robert Redford in here because... Again, just another element here, adding some legitimacy to this film.
True.
I work 40 floors away, and it takes a hijacking for you to visit.
Well, a nuclear war would do it, too. Busy in there?
Nothing some earmarks can't fix.
I'm here to ask a favor. I want you to call for a vote. Project Insight has to be delayed.
Nick, it's not a favor. That's a subcommittee hearing, a long one.
Could be nothing. Probably is nothing. I just need time to make sure it's nothing.
Fine. But you got to get Iron Man to stop by my niece's birthday party.
Thank you, sir.
And not just a flyby. He's got to mingle.
And Anthony Mackie, man, you're right. Anthony Mackie is in here. And I've told you for years, you used to laugh at me back in the day when I say Anthony Mackie is a great actor.
Well, that's when he was doing crossover.
You said,
and,
man, we ain't
and she hate me.
You like you told me you ain't gonna see this Negro in about 5 years.
Did
now
I
look
say
at
that?
look at him. Look at him hanging out with Captain America. Yeah. Not only hanging out, but the Falcon. I mean,
Well, when I met him that one time, name drop, he was pretty cool.
that's right. You did meet him.
Yeah, when I went to that notorious what do you call it, press junket.
Oh, that's right. When Captain America Jr. threw a rock at the bus, people. Mark went to New York and to do a round table for that movie Notorious about Biggie Smalls. And Anthony Mackie's in the movie as Tupac.
Yeah.
And Martin on that bus, a kid must have thought he was fucking Captain America because for no reason just picked up a rock and just threw that shit at the bus. that's my arch nemesis, the Martin. Clock.
Miss me again.
Yeah. No, you didn't do that. You was under the seat. They shooting at us. Everybody on the bus looking at you. Nigga, get your ass up. Quit acting a fool. No, man. Anthony Mackie, again, because he's not in a costume a whole lot, he's actually able to act.
Yeah.
For us to really bond to these superheroes, we have to see that human element to them. And I think this is one of the few times that I enjoyed not having to see them in a costume. When they would be getting ready to go out and do something, I'd almost be like, just wait a minute, just hold on, just don't put it on yet. Y'all just hang out for a little bit more.
Well, it helps that Captain America now has this modified costume.
Yeah.
One that actually did get used in the comics later. But where he walks around with the costume without the mask.
Yeah,
He spends a lot of time doing that. So he gets to have it both ways. He gets to have the costume on, but act as well.
that's true, and I had no problem with that. I mean, I used to have a big problem with that. I'm slowly growing out of this whole thing. You got to look exactly like the comic book,
Sure.
for me to accept this. And when you do a movie this well, then yeah, I can accept that.
Hey, kudos to Marvel for, hey man, that's 2 black superheroes. Oh, no, wait, 3. If you count Storm, we got 3 black, we got Blade, the Falcon, and Storm. DC, what you got?
DC old racist motherfuckers.
We got Lucius Fox and a black Perry White.
No, I want a hero. I don't want no guy that runs a paper. I don't want no guy who shines Batman's shoes. I want a fucking hero. That's how I knew the movie was good. When you get 2 black dudes who decide to be at a conference and they decide to act black, when they decide to just start fucking with people, because everybody's there being all professional and everything. Oh yeah, DC will have their day, and Marvel, I'm sure we all get along with. No, Samuel Jackson and Anthony Mackie weren't having it. First of all, Samuel Jackson was saying, well, DC, they got interesting villains, and Marvel, we got heroes. But then Anthony Mackie came in. And he just got straight up ghetto in this conference. He was like, yeah, bring it, DC, baby, bring it, baby, bring it. Even people like getting scared of him. Yeah,
Hey,
we
don't have to have you in the next movie.
You remember Terrence Howard? Or do you? No, I don't remember Terrence Howard. Exactly. Sit your ass down. Shut up. He's putting his gun back in his place. Sorry. I got to get paid. Nah, I have 2 complaints about the movie.
Oh, here we go.
And they are very legitimate complaints. I'm not just complaining to complain. At the end, when they run out of things to do, they just blow shit up. Every movie has.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
it's systemic of blockbusters in general.
it is.
But there's other people, man, they will get blue balls if they don't see shit blow up at the end.
And I guess it stands out in this movie because this movie was so smart up to a certain point. I mean, even the solution for this scene to, well, you know how we stop this? Just blow them motherfuckers up. That's what we're going to do.
Well, it's also if we can do these set amount of things just right, then everything's going to blow up.
That's what I'm saying. It was set up to blow up.
Yeah. No, you're okay. All right.
You understand what I'm saying, man?
I do.
Here's the other thing, man. Anthony Mackie has a Falcon. Now, this might be a little bit of a nitpick, but, the brother's just an ordinary guy.
No, he was a soldier.
Well, he was a soldier, but he didn't
have the super soldier serum.
Okay, I'm sorry. Compared to a world of heroes, in our world, he'd be like, damn, that motherfucker whoop your ass. But in this world, he's just a dude, next to Captain America.
Right.
But when he puts those wings on, man, now it's badass when he puts those wings on and becomes a Falcon. I mean, he's dodging bullets and he's going in the middle of the fight and dodging explosions, but that's what got me. I'm like, you know what? When you were talking to Captain America before, he's just like, yeah, I was a paratrooper. I was in the Marine, just did a little something.
Uh-huh.
But when he put those wings on, man, he's super dude.
Right.
I don't know, man, if I buy that. If that all of a sudden
Oh, that's your problem? Because it seemed like he was that guy all the time, except, because of what happened before, which I won't go into. He's just kind of like, I've put it away.
Yeah.
I'm not making a big deal out of it. It's not like I can use it now. And I got a lot of bad memories. I just soon, not focus on that. But Captain America gave him a reason to come back to it. And it almost kind of heals him.
You know what? You're right about that. You know what? I'll let you have that because, one, he was at the beginning of the movie, he was working at the VA, and he was doing seminars for people who have PTSD.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what got me because he's just wearing plain clothes, just sitting there. He looked like any other dude that be working at the VA. I guess that's why it got me. But I'll let you have it because, he probably has some secrets that he wants to hide.
Yeah.
And something else. That Negro can fly. Shit, that's the real Superfly right there.
Whoa! Hey, Cap. I found those bad guys you were talking about. You okay? I'm not dead yet.
They had some villains, like they were trying to shoot his ass down. They got frustrated. They said.
Well, that's what Paul Mooney said. They ain't gonna let a nigga fly.
That's what I was thinking. They're like, damn, nigga, keep still. One of the other villains was like, damn, excuse me, man. I mean,
we're Hydra, but that's kind of racist.
We're villains, but shit, man, I don't go that far.
I thought we were evil. Yeah, but that's a fine line right there, man. I'm gonna have to turn you into HR. Because if I don't, and it comes out that I knew and I didn't say anything, I'm gonna be in.
Yeah, shit, man, we evil. We ain't that evil. I mean, we evil, but we equal opportunity evil, man.
We have black guys who work here. Just saying.
Hey, shit,
that's not cool, dude.
I'm sorry, I was just frustrated, man. Go sit this one out, man. Shit, you went a little too far. But yeah, this is a full price movie. I mean, look, like I said. Nothing against Joss Whedon, but you're gonna get some comedy. We got Guardians of the Galaxy coming out. You're gonna get your comedy, okay? It's gonna be lighthearted and stuff. But right now, I think that this is a nice change of pace. Big property superhero. I think that this is the one that probably comes in and adds the most legitimacy to that genre since The Dark Knight.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's epic, it's a long movie, and at the same time, it doesn't feel like, oh, will this ever go off? It's going dragging. It keeps it going. The pace and how serious it is. Like there's legitimate stakes and it's relevant. And it's one of those things where I was like, you know what? This is Marvel's Dark Knight, or at least Captain America's, where you had the first movie, which was good, but this takes it to that next level. The way these movies have been going, I was like, man, they make so many of these now. It's hard to get really giddy about them anymore.
Yeah,
and especially after Thor: The Dark World, I was just like, yeah, some of these they're just gonna walk them. They don't really care. But this is like, man, this made me feel like a little kid. Like every time he threw that shield, I just felt something in my stomach just kind of move. Like,
oh, come on, that shit he's got to slice somebody in half at some point.
He's accurate. He ain't looking to slice people. He knows how to throw it enough to slice, enough to just break bones.
No, if he was accurate enough, he would have sliced somebody in half.
That's what you wanted.
That's what I want to see. If I have a recommendation for the next Captain America movie, cut somebody's arm off or cut him in half or something. Because that shield is, it's Captain America. The way he's throwing that shield, man, you just ain't bumping people, man. There's a whole legion of people in wheelchairs.
Well, yeah.
who are paralyzed from the neck down and shit because Captain America hit him with that shield.
Yeah, but no, man, this is beyond a full price. This is like, wow, I'm looking forward to watching this again.
Yeah, and it's good to see them now taking this. Not that they didn't take the rest seriously, but they're taking it seriously enough to where this is not a lead up.
Yeah,
it's not a stopgap to get to the next Avengers movie. They had a lot of good twists and turns in this movie, things you don't see coming, and they make good use of some of the smaller roles. What's her name? Colby Smulders. Yeah. She comes in, and even though her part's not big, they make good use of her too. So keep it up, Marvel. Don't fuck up now.
All right, Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's the thing that was going through the back of my head. I'm looking at how cool this movie is and how grounded it is, and I keep seeing them fucking them
trees and raccoons,
them raccoons and goofy ass colors and makeup from Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm just thinking, we got Captain America, and then we got the Muppet Show, and I'm just hoping that it's gonna be cool. But hey, man, I got some trivia for you.
What trivia you got?
A lot of trivia for this movie, man. Of course, it's a Marvel film, so there's a lot of things that you can talk about with this movie that happens behind the scene that you probably didn't know about, Martin, and some of these other people out there.
Tell me.
Well, number one.
I didn't know about, you tell me.
Okay, well, we were talking about Robert Redford.
Yes.
How he adds such legitimacy to this movie.
Yeah.
Well, one of the main reasons why is because that these films, or this movie here, it takes its influence from 3 other movies mainly. Those movies being The Parallax View,
Okay.
Marathon Man,
Okay.
and 3 Days of the Condor,
Ah.
starring.
Robert Redford.
That's right. Some of this movie is a nod to 3 Days of the Condor.
Yeah.
That's probably why they wanted to get Robert Redford.
Right. Okay.
They were probably happy they got Robert
Exactly.
Redford. Hey, Mr. Redford, you want to be in a movie? He's gonna say no. What? Really? Yes. Thank fucking God. More Robert Redford here. He wanted to be in the movie because he wanted to make something that his grandkids.
I know, that's
thought,
always-
That's these.
They always say that.
And then you know what the grandkids say? Well, shit, granddad, you wasn't nothing but an old man in the movie. Robert Redford.
Plus, aren't his grandkids like 40 years old at this point?
Yeah, they don't do this. His grandkids are like, granddaddy, you didn't do this shit for me.
Right. You did it for a
Now
check.
go and take that money and quit bringing us into this shit. And hell, it'd be different if you actually
Doing it for his grandkids.
Yeah, doing it for his grandkids. Shit, your grandkids are 80 years old, right? And your grandkids looking at you like, we could understand if you got to put on a costume, but you just walking in one room,
Right.
being an old man. That's all.
Right.
We see you do this when you come to the house. Quit lying, granddad. There were a lot of people who were set to direct this movie. So the directors of this movie, and they deserve to be mentioned. I think they're brothers. It's Anthony Russo and Joe Russo.
Uh-huh.
But in addition to these guys, they also had set out to direct the movie was F. Gary Gray.
Oh, F. Gary Gray, who did
Friday.
Right. And
Also did The Italian Job.
that's right. But there was another movie in between those two.
Something Citizens.
No, something with Samuel Jackson and Kevin Spacey.
Oh,
The Negotiator.
That's right. There's a Negotiator. First you think Friday, and you're thinking that dude's gonna do it, but then you see all the other movies that he's
Right.
grown into, and it's like,
Right.
okay, I can see that. I was talking about how Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson, how they had a lot of good dialogue amongst themselves
Yeah.
in the movie, and the reason why is because they got to write a lot of their own dialogue for those scenes.
No kidding.
Yeah, they did.
Well, I guess that works. It was always the thing with the first Iron Man that Terrence Howard said. And first they tried to deny it, then it was true. Like they didn't have much of a script. They ad-libbed most of it. They Robert Downey Jr. just go.
Plus, they let Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson write the next Avengers.
Well, that was the thing when
Let him write the next
when
Iron
he was
Man.
first cast as Captain America. I was like, man, he's much more of a comedic actor. I don't know how this is going to work, but hey, the boy's got chops.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does. And finally, we're talking about how great Anthony Mackie was in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that he's not writing anything or directing anything because he wasn't happy with that Falcon suit.
But the suit.
With the suit in the movie, wasn't happy
Oh,
with it.
yeah, because he wanted spandex.
He said, give me the red spandex. Yeah. Give me that Ronald McDonald shit on.
yeah, the red and white spandex
Yeah.
with the fringe on it.
And they're like,
no.
okay, sit your ass down.
Right.
Put this shit on and shut up. You want to be in this movie or not, man?
It's
Shut
like,
the
let
fuck
me,
up.
Let me show you how Captain America actually met the Falcon.
and I told you how he was yelling at that conference at the convention. Well, it turns out he's kind of loud on the set too, because when anything went right, he would always yell at the end of the scene, "Yeah, cut the check! Yeah, cut the check!" And
Are you serious?
And yeah, I'm serious. And they and he's people say that it caught on the set, but people are like, "Yeah, cut the check! Yeah, cut the shit, man! All right, just." Anthony, shut up, man. We got it. All right? Shit. You're going to get paid. Shut the fuck up.
Now, here's something I'm curious about.
Yeah?
You might know the answer to.
What?
Okay, now we got Jeremy Renner and Anthony Mackie in these Marvel movies. Mm-hmm. Wasn't there a third guy in the Hurt Locker? Is he getting left out?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I don't know, man. I forgot.
That's too bad. That other guy, he's all like, "What about me?"
I tell you, so those two were in the Hurt Locker.
Yeah.
Boy, I can't wait for the Falcon to join up with Hawkeye and the Avengers because they're gonna blow shit up left. New York ain't gonna be left. Hey, I got some questions for you.
Okay.
I got 3 of them just to give you a little warning right here. All right. You a Captain America fan?
That I am.
You schooled me on Captain America right here in this review.
I know some stuff.
Yeah, you know some things. Let's see how much you know. Give me 3 materials that have been used to make Captain America's shield.
Adamantium, vibranium. Shit. I don't remember the other one.
Come on now. Come on. Major Martin.
Stainless steel.
Yes!
Oh, okay.
Well, you know what? You fucked up, but you said the word, so I'll give it to you.
But it's steel?
It's steel, yeah. It sounds like it's simple.
Because I was like, okay, I know it's 2 specialty metals. And I think it's just like one just regular kind of.
Well, I was ready to ant that ass right there, too. That's good, though. All right, question number 2. How many movies have Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson done together? Now, this is multiple choice. A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, D, 5. It's multiple choice. Just take a pick.
3.
3. Wait a minute. Is that the number?
Yes.
Okay, so number. So B.
B.
Ooh, sorry.
Boom, boom, boom.
It's a 4. They've been in 4 movies together,
Okay.
including this one. Don't ask me to name the other 3, but just trust me, they were.
What? You can't even name them? I just got to take your word
You just
for
say
it.
you can look it up. That's your punishment for getting that wrong. You do some research. Next time you'll know. All right, last question here. We'll see if you got okay. You got one right. You got one wrong.
Okay.
Let's see if you can break it right here.
All right.
All right. There was another Captain America 2 before this one. What was the name of that film?
Another Captain America 2?
Yes.
In the theater?
I can't answer that.
Uh-huh. Because there's 2 Captain America movies that were TV movies that starred Reb Brown. And there was that one, but it starred Matt Salinger that never made it past DVD.
Okay. Can you give me the name of the next Captain America movie, that the number 2 that I'm thinking about?
I don't know. Captain America Rides Again.
You close, because in that movie he had a motorcycle. It's Captain America 2, Death Too Soon. It was a 1979 TV movie that came on CBS. So you were right.
Yeah, with Reb Brown.
We had that big helmet that looked like he was hiding an afro underneath there.
The funny thing is, they got the costume right with the second movie. Because the first one, it was just like, they had him like red and white suspenders going all the way up his shoulders. The second one, they got the costume right. But yeah, he rode a motorcycle. He had a shield that instead of white, it was just clear like plexiglass.
Not this one. He had a shield in this one with red and white on it.
Yeah. Like I said, like they started with the plexiglass and then they got it right. But sadly enough, it's a worse movie than the first one. And the first one is no picnic to begin with. I mean, like in the second movie, he's like driving around Venice Beach, like throwing his shield at a beach bum or like some bully who snatches a purse. It's just kind of dull.
I tell you what, you sold that movie. I want to watch it now.
You'll watch it for about 10
Dude riding
minutes.
around with a clear piece of plastic knocking out bums. Yeah, I want to see this.
With his satin spandex on.
Yeah. In this movie, this costume looks so bad. He's got a ball on his head, a big old blue ball.
Yeah.
And they put wings on the side of it. Riding around on a motorcycle.
Yeah, that helmet on all the time.
Yeah. You know, because back then they didn't have the special effects to make him jump and run real fast.
Oh, yeah.
So they just put his ass on a motorcycle.
Yeah. He rode around on a motorcycle, or he did the 70s sci-fi TV show jump, where you had a person jump backwards off of something onto a trampoline.
Yeah.
And then you just film it forward.
And you film it forward. You might put it in slow motion.
Yeah.
You might add a sound effect that says, boom. Yeah. Yeah, all that dumb shit, people. It's out there for you if you want to see it. All right, man. That is our review. That is our trivia. That is our quiz. Hey, listen, if you want to get in touch with Captain Korey, you can do so at kcoolmanz@gmail.com. I'm on Twitter at KCoolman. And Martin, they can just look me up on Facebook.
They can look Martin Thomas up on Facebook too. I might even get him to answer you back. Or go to Twitter, look for Martin_Nofro. And soon to be in our new home, doubletoasted.com.
That is right. That is a very well done sidekick, Martin.
Gee, thanks, Cap.
All right, everybody, that is it. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Captain America needs my help. When do we start?
We just did.